The American middle class is being gutted by spiraling inflation, a soft job market, and stagnant wages. Housing costs have reached record highs, vehicle prices have reached record highs, fuel prices are crushing average people, and grocery prices are leaving too many people wondering if they should eat, fill up the gas tank, or pay the rent. For many people, frugal living as a nomad may be the solution. Nomadic life is one alternative to this economic situation that we're seeing here in America in 2026. The frugal living as a nomad is not the only alternative, but it is one alternative. There's other options. Some of those might be things like employer-provided housing, whether that's seasonal work or caretaking gigs. It could be house hacking. House hacking's been around for a long, long time. I think the term is newer, but that's where you're most commonly applies to your buying property, that you can also rent out some of the property, or maybe you rent a larger house and rent out several rooms in a house. Barter. I've done this myself. I used to, in Montana in particular, I used to have, when I lived up there, I had where I'd rent a place, and then I was able to barter off with the landlord. Sometimes barter off all the rent, other times barter off a fraction of it, doing work as a handyman. And that allowed me to lower my rent costs at a time in my life where I needed to lower my rent costs. I was a full-time caregiver for my wife at the time. My late wife had advanced cancer, and I just could only work so much because I had to be home a lot and taking her to appointments and things. And so that allowed me to keep the rent paid and working around my schedule and when I had availability. Another option that people sometimes mention in comments is relocation to a cheaper area. Here's the thing. None of these things work for everyone. And that's why it's hard. Anytime you make a video like this, if I talk about one topic, people are like, oh, you can move somewhere. Yes, there are places that have cheaper housing. That's not an option for everybody. You have to be able to find a job there. You have to have health care there if you have healthcare situations that need advanced specialties. Maybe you have family somewhere. You don't want to leave family behind. So there's a lot of things that come up, but there are alternatives to the nomadic life for sure. And a lot of people choose those or prefer those. Sometimes I've known nomads who kind of did both. They nomaded part of the year, and then part of the year they did barter things, or they spent time in a cheaper area, or they did seasonal work or caretaking and then that provided housing part of the year, and the other part of the year they traveled and lived in a vehicle. So none of these options work for everyone, but for some people, one of them does work well. And one option is frugal living as a nomad. So let's talk a little bit about frugal living as a nomad. It is possible. I want to emphasize that it's possible to live very cheaply or frugally as a nomad. Well, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, you've heard me also say that it's completely possible to spend just as much or more as a nomad than you would living in a house or in an apartment. And here's the key. You have to embrace the nomadic lifestyle as a frugal lifestyle rather than as a traveling vacation if you want to do it cheaply. No, the nomadic lifestyle is still a life. It's a lifestyle, but it's still a life. And you still have all the same stuff. You just may have spent less on rent and utilities, depending on how you do it. Most nomads, if you're avoiding debt, for most nomads, the biggest monthly cash expenses are going to be fuel, food, and sometimes vehicle repairs and maintenance. Those are infrequent and sporadic, the repairs and maintenance, and that makes those hard to budget for. But if you can control these costs and avoid debt, you truly can live very frugally, very cheaply as a nomad if you choose to, if that's what you're aiming for. How do we do this? Well, it's through practices. So we're going to practice budget-friendly travel, and that includes your vehicle. So if you got an expensive vehicle or vehicle combination, that's, you may be making payments on an expensive vehicle, or you have a vehicle that's expensive to maintain. That's going to cost you money, and that's going to affect your bottom line and how frugal you're able to live. So you want a budget-friendly travel setup, and that includes your vehicle. Practice staying in places where it's viable to live cheaply. And that's going to include, again, the big ones like rent, food, and fuel. Some nomads literally don't spend $1 on camping or rent, loosely interpreted, right? Others pay to stay places routinely. That's entirely up to you how you want to do that. But again, some places are going to have cheaper rent for campgrounds or RV sites or whatever. and some are going to have much more expensive. So if you're staying in places where you can stay for free or inexpensively, and that you can have affordable food and you're limiting how much fuel you need to burn, or you're in areas where fuel is cheaper, that's a practice that helps make this a frugal lifestyle. Practice sitting still. Fuel, again, like I said, fuel is one of the top expenses for a lot of nomads. So if you practice parking somewhere for days or even a couple of weeks at a time, that goes a long ways towards keeping your costs down. And then if you practice traveling shorter distances, so maybe you make you're doing 1,000-mile trip, but you're traveling 50 or 100 miles and staying somewhere for a week or two, and 50 or 100 miles and staying somewhere for a week or two, your overall gas budget at the end of the month is quite low, even if you're in an RV that's getting 8 or 10 miles a gallon, versus if you're driving 1,000 or 2,000 miles a month, you're burning a whole lot of gas. So practicing sitting still helps a lot with frugal living as a nomad. And then we can practice cooking and eating in our rig or at our camp. And again, eating out, you're likely to eat less healthy, and you're also guaranteed to spend more money. So if you can buy healthy food, cook it at home or in your rig or at your camp, that's going to save a bunch of money. And it makes it easier to budget because you're going to the store and buying maybe several days or a week or even 2 weeks worth of food at once. So it's easier to budget that and not let things get out of hand and not realize just how much you're spending on food. And we can practice cheap or free hobbies and entertainment. And there's plenty of hobbies and entertainment that people might do as nomads that cost a lot of money. And then there's those that are very cheap or free. And I'm thinking like reading or doing other things. Practice creating. You're making YouTube videos, you're writing, or you're doing other things, taking photographs, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. But put a focus and an emphasis on hobbies and entertainments that are free or very cheap. And that helps keep your cost of living down while allowing you to engage in meaningful activities. And then we can practice minimalism or voluntary simplicity. Now, you sort of have to be a minimalist if you're going to be a nomad, unless you're living in a huge, like 40-foot motorhome or something, or you're towing a giant fifth wheel. Even then, you sort of have to be a minimalist compared to a house. But if we practice minimalism and voluntary simplicity, we can learn to live on less, and we can learn over time that we really don't need much of anything. And once you hit that threshold where you realize you really don't need much and what you have is enough, there's less temptation to spend, and there's less temptation to buy things you don't need that you just have to get rid of later anyways. And there's a rule in the RV or the van life thing that after a point, and for some people that's the day they move into the rig, other people it's it's a little more empty when they move in, but usually it's pretty full when you move in. But you hit a point real quick where you realize you have to practice the one in, one out rule. And that is that you have no room for anything else. So literally, if you accept something else or you buy something else or someone gives you something else, you have to get rid of something because you have nowhere to put that new thing because your space is full. So minimalism, voluntary simplicity is a great practice that over time initially can be just a mindset to help us fit. And then over time, it becomes a mindset that we don't need anything else. We have everything we need and then some. And then finally, I would say practice a healthy lifestyle. That means eating healthy, trying to get active, be active, get exercise regularly. These kind of things, it pays dividends down the road, because if we're not staying healthy to the extent that we can, there's genetics, there's all kinds of other stuff. I'm not negating any of that, but to the extent that we can, we want to practice being healthy, practice a healthy lifestyle, because healthcare costs are outrageous in America. So that can make or break your budget, especially in your retirement years as you start getting a little older. So living frugally, part of that's going to be staying as healthy as possible so you're not spending a fortune on healthcare and on prescription medicines and other things like that. And on top of that, you just want to be able to do the stuff you want to do for as long as possible. And I've talked in a recent video on this channel about how, I think I called it the nomad retirement myth maybe, but for a lot of people, you do hit a point where it gets harder and harder to do van life or RV life as you age. But you can hopefully stretch that out as long as possible by staying as healthy as possible for as long as you reasonably can. We're presently camped at an amazing spot out here in the Bighorn Mountains, nice and peaceful and quiet. We had to burn some fuel to get here. We brought our food with us, and we're cooking good, healthy meals at camp here in the mountains. So burned a bit of fuel to get here, and we're spending not a dollar, not even a penny, for however long it is we're here. So it is quite possible to live very frugally as a nomad. The nomad life is absolutely not for everyone. As I mentioned earlier, it's one option that for some people can work well and can be a way to live frugally when you're trying to keep your budget down, whether it's because you just don't have the money to go around and you need to keep it down, or because you have a little more coming in, but you want to save as much as possible towards the future. Either way, the nomad lifestyle can be a very frugal option. But again, the nomadic life is not automatically cheap. It depends on how you do it.